Las Vegas. Turn 14. Lewis Hamilton crosses the line, and for the first time in his career, he says the words nobody expected. This is the worst season I've ever had. Not 2011, not 2013, this one. And then came the bombshell that stopped the paddock cold. Ross Brawn, the man who built Schumacher's empire, the architect behind Hamilton's Mercedes domination, finally broke his silence. But he didn't offer sympathy. He didn't make excuses. He delivered a warning so precise, so calculated that Ferrari's entire leadership is now scrambling to respond. Because when the man who orchestrated 2 dynasties tells you that everything depends on what happens next, you listen, or you lose the greatest driver you've ever signed. Hamilton arrived at Ferrari with 7 world championships and a legacy no one could question. But 5 has been different. No podiums, qualifying disasters, a car that feels unstable from FP1 to the race start. And in Las Vegas, the moment it all cracked open, Hamilton didn't just lose. He emotionally collapsed. He admitted he wasn't looking forward to next season. He had to deny rumors he was quitting Formula One entirely. This wasn't adaptation issues. This wasn't age. This was a driver drowning and Ferrari watching from the shore. Brawn acknowledged the struggle openly, recognizing Hamilton's frustration, but then he did something nobody expected. He shifted the spotlight away from Hamilton and directly onto Ferrari. Because here's what Brawn said that stunned Maranello. Hamilton can succeed at Ferrari, but only if the team gets 2026 absolutely right. Not if Hamilton adapts. Not if Hamilton rediscovers form. If Ferrari delivers. That one sentence flipped the entire narrative upside down. Brawn's message was aimed just as much at Ferrari as it was at Hamilton, forcing everyone to rethink where the real responsibility lies. And this is where the story gets dark. Brawn didn't just defend Hamilton's speed or potential. He attacked something far deeper: Ferrari's structure itself. He dissected the situation like someone who has been inside championship-winning structures and knows exactly when a project is drifting off course. The inconsistency from practice to qualifying, the tire warm-up disasters, the inability to execute clean weekends under pressure. Brawn's message was clear. Hamilton's struggles are not an indication of decline, but a symptom of a team that has not yet built a stable environment around him. But then came the contradiction that changes everything. Just weeks earlier, Ferrari chairman John Elkann told the drivers to talk less, implying they were part of the problem. Brawn's response? Surgical. He defended Hamilton's right to express frustration and explained that emotions after races are normal, even healthy. Translation: silence isn't strength, it's avoidance. Hamilton isn't harming Ferrari by speaking out, he's highlighting exactly where the cracks are forming. And Ferrari, they just got told their leadership philosophy is broken. Now, here's where Brawn's statement becomes a warning disguised as optimism. He didn't just say Hamilton could recover, he said without hesitation that everything depends on the 2026 regulations. This isn't casual commentary. Brawn is the strategist who built the foundations of the Mercedes dynasty by anticipating the 2014 rule change. He knows how transformative regulation resets are. He knows Hamilton's greatest resurgence came during a technical revolution, and he knows Ferrari won't get another chance like this for years. Regulations will reset aerodynamics, electrification, and engine philosophy. Teams must rethink everything from suspension layout to energy deployment systems. Mercedes are rumored to be ahead. Red Bull has something radical in development. And Ferrari's Project 678 still raising more questions than answers. Brawn's doubts about Ferrari's readiness were subtle but unmistakable. Because if Ferrari get 2026 wrong, Hamilton's career ends in failure. And Brawn just made sure everyone knows it. At 40 years old, Hamilton is entering the final chapter of his career. Brawn emphasized that if Ferrari want Hamilton to write a glorious final act, they must deliver the tools now, not later. The flashes of pace in Mexico and Austin proved Hamilton still has elite speed. But elite speed means nothing without a team capable of rewarding it. And here's the brutal truth Brawn embedded in his statement. Brawn spoke about Hamilton not as someone declining, but as someone being let down. He effectively told Ferrari, "You are the problem." For a team that spent the entire season blaming Hamilton's adaptation, this was more than a reality check. It was a public execution of their excuses. Scenario 1, Ferrari listens. They restructure. They nail 2026. Hamilton leads them into a new era and retires a champion in red. Scenario 2, Ferrari ignores the warning. 2026 becomes another false start. Hamilton leaves broken, and Ferrari spends the next decade wondering what could have been. Scenario 3, Mercedes watches. They see Hamilton struggling. They see Ferrari failing. And in 2027, they make the call that brings him home for one final campaign. Brawn's intervention wasn't dramatic, emotional, or sensational. It was precise, strategic, and brutally honest. Exactly what Ferrari needed to hear. But will they listen? Or will they let ego, politics, and tradition destroy the only chance they have left? Because here's what Brawn really said beneath all the measured words. Hamilton doesn't need saving. Ferrari does. If you made it this far, you already know this isn't about speed anymore. It's about whether Ferrari can survive the truth. So tell me, does Ferrari have what it takes to deliver in 2026? Or is Ross Brawn watching the collapse of another dynasty in real time?